Hello everybody, Elias5891 here with another KTANE module tutorial. This time we are going over the coordinates module. Now this module did have a rule change in sometime in April. Kind of changed up what you're doing with it, how it works. So we're covering a new tutorial to cover the new version of coordinates. This will be the version you can access now. Now to start out, as the diffuser, you have a display here, which is going to have 9 different pieces of information in it. You have left and right arrows to toggle through these pieces of information, and a submit button. The goal is that these 9 pieces of information represent a size of a grid and 8 coordinates on that grid. The idea is to submit the 2 coordinates that represent the same portion of the grid, just in different formats. So let's go ahead and give this information to our expert, and we'll see how that works. Now when you give out this information, you want to be very explicit about any sort of punctuation or formatting, because I might have something like 2/1 0, 3 in angle brackets, 2, 4 with no symbols. So it's very important. There's one with quotation marks. So you want to get all the punctuation in there as well as numbers. Now I'm going to put them on this little table I have here. The A through I part is just so I can quickly reference them later. They don't mean anything. So here's what we got. 2/1. Parentheses 0, 2. 1 east, 1 south from 12 o'clock. I have to abbreviate that one to fit it. Angle bracket 1, 1. South center. Parentheses 0, 1. A-1. 4/3. Angle bracket 0, 2. Whoops. Angle bracket. And that's all. 2/1. Back to where we started. As the diffuser, you give that information to the expert and you wait. As the expert, we got to work with this. So let's drop the bomb from the screen for just a second and put up a little grid that we're going to work with. Now your grid will at most be 7 by 7, which is what I've got here. We're going to cut it down a little more based on the information we have. The first thing we want to do is figure out what size of a grid we are actually working with. Table 1 here has a list of all the formats of grid sizes, and we're going to look over them for one that applies to something that we have, something we were given by the diffuser. So let's take a look. We had 2 formats. Just a number. None of them were just a number. Just a number in parentheses. No. Number x number. Didn't have that. Number by number. And there we go. 4/3. X by y. So this is a format that we're looking for to get a grid size. And in this case, x, my first number, is the height, and the second number is the width. So for the one I'm doing here, my height is 4, and my width is 3. So this is the size of the grid we're actually working with. So let's go ahead and black the rest of this out. We're not going to use it. I'll leave it there so we can kind of get it back later. So this part of the grid here, this is the grid we're working with this time. We don't want anything bigger than this. Now let's start putting these numbers in and figuring out what positions these go to. We had table 1 to get us our grid size. Table 2 gives us the formats of the grid locations. So let's just go through them in order. And remember, we're looking for two pieces of information. We're given 2 of the coordinates that actually have the same location. So this one's obviously not going to have a location. We can go ahead and get rid of it. But for the rest, I'm going to plug in the letter, and when we have 2 that go in the same square, we know we have our answer. Alright, so this first one that I labeled A is number/number. Here's number slash number. It's a row, then a column. You start at the bottom left at 1, 1. So we're going to start at the bottom left. This is 1, 1. We're looking at the row number first, which is 2. So 1, 2. And then column, starting at column 1, we're at column 1. So this would be 2 slash 1. Let's look at the next one. Parentheses 0, comma 2. This is in the form column row. Bottom left is 0, 0. So we're starting at 0, 0. Column should be 0, so we're staying in this column. Row 2, we're at row 0, row 1, row 2. So here's the B. That's different. C, this is kind of a directional one, uses clock notation. 12 o'clock would be up here at the top of a clock. And we're going to go one east, one south from 12 o'clock. So that's C. D, angle bracket, 1, comma 1. Row then column. Top left is 0, 0. So we're starting at the top left this time. This is row 0, column 0. We want to go to row 1, so 0, 1. And column 1, 0, 1. Here's D. E is my south center. That's easy enough to mark. F, 0, comma 1. In parentheses 0, comma 1 specifically. Column then row, starting at bottom left 0, 0. So here's 0, 0. Column stays at 0. Row goes 0, 1. Aha! So we have F sharing a spot with A. So those should be our two answers, but let's go ahead and check the others just to get a little more comfortable with some of the notations and double check. A-1, letter dash number. Column then row, bottom left is A1. Well, A1, so. And last up, angle bracket 0, 2. That was starting at the top left at 0, 0. Row, then column. So row 0, column 0, 1, 2. So we did just get the one solution that shares a space. That's A and F. So as the expert, we're going to give back to the diffuser these two answers, A and F. So we'll tell our diffuser, all right, your solution is 2 slash 1 and 0, comma 1. Parentheses 0, comma 1. So 2 slash 1. Notice no indicator. That's a sign that I got one of the two coordinates right. And parentheses 0, comma 1. And we're done with this one. Let's go over another one. Similar. We'll hop over to this one. This is going to be a big grid, I can already tell. For this one, we have pound or hashtag or number sign 47. Now this is interesting. This is a Chinese character. A lot of people probably don't know their Chinese characters, and that's fine. But you're going to have to describe this to your expert somehow. Now the expert does have like a little list here, table 3 on their manual, that gives indicators of what each number means. So let's figure out what these numbers mean, then we'll interpret it as we go. 1, 2, and 3 are just, 1, 2, and 3 are just little 1, 2, or 3 lines. 4, if I'm trying to describe it, it kind of looks like curtains, maybe. 5, it's a guy with a cane on a boat wearing a hat. I don't know. It's 3 parallel lines with 2 intersecting lines. That one's tricky to describe. This is a lambda with a line through it. This is a T. This is the Atari logo. This is a fancy R. And this is a plus. So aside from 5, it's not terribly hard to come up with something to describe them. May not be the best thing to describe them, but coming up with some method shouldn't be too bad. So for this one, I have 2 lines, plus sign. So 2 lines, I've done. Once you do this a couple times, you'll probably memorize it. And as the diffuser, you may be able to just say what the number is. So 2 lines, that's a 2. Plus is 10, so it's 2 tens or 20. And because I'm not going to try to put in those characters into my little table here, I'm just going to write Chinese 20. Let's continue on. C-7. 49 asterisk 7. 2 up from 6 o'clock. Quotation marks 1 comma 1. Square bracket 4. D dash 4. 22nd. Back to, whoops, hit the wrong button. Back to number 47. I did not mean to spit that, but we do know now that this is the wrong answer, so a little extra info, I guess. Again, as we did before, switch you off the screen for now. Let's find our grid size first. Here's our grid sizes. Of these, which one is one of the formats I have here? Well, that would be this one. Number, asterisk, number. In this case, our first number, x, is our total size of the grid, 49 squares. Y is the height, 7. So 7 times what gives me 49? That would be 7 times 7. So my height is 7 and my width is 7. That's actually the maximum size of a grid you can get here. So we're going to use this entire large space this time. Let's start plugging things in. These are going to take a little bit of time perhaps, because some large numbers. Number 47. Well, if it's number and then a number, you're going to assume that to be the cell's number in Cartesian order. Cartesian order, and it has a little footnote. Cartesian order is you start at the bottom, you go all the way right, then you go up to the next row, all the way right, next row, all the way right. So we're trying to get all the way up to 47, and we're going to start bottom left at 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Obviously, we're counting by sevens as we go up by rows. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Or you could just count up to 47. But if you've got a bunch of rows, you can just kind of jump up by the whatever number you're going up by, 7, 14, 21, because there's 7 in a row. That's A. B, Chinese 20. Here's an example of Chinese number. You're going to do the cell number again, this time in Chinese reading order. Again, you've got a footnote, but for these, you're going to start at the top right and go down, and then move over a column, down, 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 down. So, it says top right is single line, which is 1. So this is 1. We want Chinese 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same rules before. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this gets me to 20. Next up, C-7. We've done letter dash number before. Column row, starting at A1 here. So column A, B, C. Row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. C. 2 up from 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is the bottom of a clock. We're going to move up 2. Quotation 1, comma 1. Row then column. Bottom left is 0, 0. We want row 1, because row is first. 1. Column 1. 1. G. Angle bracket 4. Angle bracket, again, cell number, this time in scanline order. That's where you start at the top left, go across, and kind of do it like you would if you're reading in English. And you start at 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Victory. Let's double check the last two just to be sure. And again, if you're doing this live with an actual diffuser on the bomb, you probably, once you get those two and you've done it a couple times and feel comfortable, just spit out those two answers. Don't keep searching. But since we did have a couple more I wanted to cover, or since we did want to go over as many of these as possible, we'll finish up. Letter dash number for D-4. Again, column then row. Bottom left is A1, so column A, B, C, D, number 1, 2, 3, 4. And I is 22nd. 22nd is cell numbers in scan line order again, but this time your top left is first. So first, second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 21, 22. So my answer is A and G. So that would be number 47, 4 in square brackets. Number 47, 4 in square brackets. Now, having gone through these 4 tricky ones here at the bottom, let's look at Chinese reading order just a little more. You will get one of 3. When you do these, you'll either get a single character, in which case your answer is that character. The number is that character. You'll get the plus symbol and a number. So like plus curtain. That would be 10-4, which is 14. Or you might get a different number and then the 10. Lights bleeping. Thank you. I'm talking. I do realize you didn't see me punch in the other answer, but you did hear the success sound, hopefully. Or lack of a strike sound as we put that in. And, you know, as an expert, that's all you get sometimes is audio clues. So, but back to Chinese numerals. If you get plus at a number, 10-3, 10-4, that just means 13, 14. Flip it around, if I get Atari plus, that's 8, 10, or 80. Your other option is you get 3 symbols, like here, curtain plus T, that's 4, 10, 7, and you just kind of combine the rules. 410 is 47, so 47 would be here. Since I haven't flipped back to the thing, let's do one more. I'm not going to show you the screen at all. In fact, I'm going to blank out everything for right now, except for the instructions here. Here we go. Let me give you a set of 9. I will read them. I will kind of set them up myself as we go, and from there we will work on it together after you've had some time. So for the last one, for the one you're going to do, here are 9 items. 3, 2, no other punctuation. Number 8, pound 8. 1, 1, no other punctuation. Number 9, 2, 3, no punctuation. 3x4. 1 north from bottom right. 1 north from bottom right. Bottom center. And B-4, Bravo-4. Alright. Take a moment. Go ahead and pause. See if you can solve it. I'll flash back on just with what I said written down, and then we'll flash to solving it. Alright. Here's our list of what I said. These were our directions. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, number 8, number 9, 3x4, 1 north from bottom right, bottom center, B-4. If you missed something there, feel free to pause again and see if you can correct it. Otherwise, here we go on solving it. For our grid format, we have this option, x number. In this case, the first number is our width, the second number is our height. So for our grid, we've got a width of 3 and a height of 4. let us mostly disappear everything else that we don't need. So all we have is this little bitty grid here. And I'm not going to necessarily plug these in this order. Let's plug them in simplicity order. One north from bottom right. Bottom right, one north. Bottom center. Bottom center. B-4. Let's look at how that one is. That's letter dash number. So column then row. Starting in bottom left is A1. So column A, column B, row 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do these numbered ones. Cell in Cartesian order, bottom right is number 1. So number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go there and there. Last up, number, comma, number. Format for that is top left is 1, 1. We're doing row then column. So top left is 1, 1. That's C. A is 3, comma 2. So row 3, 1, 2, 3. Column 2, 1, 2. And E is 2, comma 3. So row 2, 1, 2. Column 3, 1, 2, 3. So that gets us these two as our answer. So let's plug those in, and we'll actually show plugging these in this time. Number 9, and let's say we mess up and say miss one. The correct answer, other part of the answer is 2, comma 3. Notice I didn't have to put the number 9 back in. I just had to make sure I had at least once picked both correct answers. So there we go. And that's how you're going to do coordinates. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, leave them in the comments down below as always. Until next time, this has been Elias. Thank you so much for watching. Whoops. Have fun, and don't explode. Bye, guys.